old 10 a.m. slot. If, the clocks change again, we will change the time again. It's just where I live, we don't change the clock, so it makes it, this show is still a half hour early for me as opposed to a half hour late. So the other way it would make it at 4 a.m. my time, which is just a little early. I don't think you want to see the 4 a.m. Mitch. At least not that often. We'll do it, for the big days. We'll probably do it on Friday back at 10 a.m. just to get it started before everything starts. And we'll probably have some guests this week as well. I'm going to make a couple calls after the show. I believe Tony Brown will be on tomorrow with us. So, anyways, we're going to do the hard half hour stop on these shows. On the tournament days, on Friday and Saturday and Sunday and Monday, we'll likely go longer. But on the regular days, we're just going to do a half-hour show. And I think you guys, we figured out the old format that we used to do it, and I think you guys are going to like it. So I think it's a happy medium for everyone, and I think it's what we're going to do. So we'll have to live with it. Anyways, let me bring in Brian and Rod. Morning, guys. How's it going?
All good. Morning.
Kind of, this is kind of almost, it feels like I was talking to Al McMorty, and he said the same thing that I said. It feels like almost like we're on break, right? Because all of a sudden it's like 100 games. Now it's like 20 games. It's like I could do 20, rather quickly, when it's, or 7 games, 7 NBA games. I'm not going to pretend to do hockey. Yeah, I have an eye out to those, to the college basketball games, but I actually, haven't looked that deeply into it. I haven't filled out a bracket. I know Brian did. I don't know if Rod did or not, but yeah, I'm excited. And like I said, we got some changes going on behind the scenes as well. And, I think, like I said, we're going to start having some more guests on this show, and hopefully the premium show, we'll make some tweaks there to make that better too. We're doing the best that we can.
I miss college basketball, to be honest.
Oh, we'll have it tomorrow, and it'll be back tomorrow. It's kind of like the NBA All-Star break. I just want to touch on this quickly. I know it's ridiculous that I have to do this, but so someone said that I threw them out of the Facebook group for disagreeing with our picks in the premium area. And that's not the case at all. I would never throw anybody out or criticize anybody for disagreeing with me or Rod or Brian, right? Because I disagree with Brian every day, and I disagree with Rod often as well. We all disagree, right? I mean, that's part of the show, and the reason why we have 40 different handicappers and 15 different writers and all this different stuff, because the whole idea is that to get a variety of different opinions and to see how people make their case, as to how they made that decision in the game. To me, that was the whole idea when I started the website and brought on multiple people, and have been doing for the last 15 years. And it's disagreeing with someone's pick is fully consistent with what we do. I mean, it is what we do. We're disagreeing with the public. We're agreeing with the sharps. We're disagreeing with the sharps. We're agreeing with the public. I mean, this is what we've been talking about. But when you use it to make personal attacks, and make it like I'm challenging up against you, like it's a contest between me and you, and and then you turn it into lies. Well, that's unfair. It's unfair because I don't get a chance to set the record straight. And, your damage is done that you've already done. So, like, if you go in the Facebook group and said, so this guy made a post and he said, boy, the premium picks have been straight ass lately. But I believe that day, Brian was 2-0. Rod was 2-0. I was 1-1. Right? So that's unfair. If there's somebody out there that was maybe considering buying the premium picks and they see that post, what kind of opinion are they going to have? An honest, fair one as to what the picks were that day or not? I mean, there's nothing good that can come of a post like that. If you have an issue with the premium area, the free area, the live show, anything like that, I am the most accessible man in sports handicapping. I do not sleep. Anyone out there has ever shot me an email, sent me a message, you guys go on the customer service chat on our website, you get me, right? You don't get like somebody else. People freak out. Sometimes if like I can't figure it out with somebody on there, I call them up and they're like, "Holy crap, it's Mitch." It's like, yeah, I'm just some guy in my living room betting on sports with you, man. We're all on the same team here. But it's like disagreeing and criticism are not the same thing, especially unfair criticism. That's not the truth. You know, if you want to say they're 24-9 in their last 33, that's a lot different than saying their picks suck. Or
you could say Brian's been really bad the last 2 days. Okay.
Brian's 1-3 and Mitch has been 2-2. You know, you could say that. I mean, that's fair and that's honest. But it's like you can't just make a blanket statement and call that disagreeing, because that's not disagreeing. That's called crap. I'm trying not to swear so much on here. YouTube doesn't like it, and I'm trying to swear less on here. Doing my best. So I know you guys, probably haven't even noticed, but the last couple of weeks I haven't even said hot diggity dog poop. Well, I just said it. Iceman sucks. Anyways, let's get into the NBA today.
You jinxed yourself now.
Rod, what's your first NBA pick for today?
My first NBA pick today, I like the Miami Heat here. They definitely turned it up. They're 9-1 the last 10, 7-3 against the number. They're going against the Cleveland Cavaliers team, who is 1-10 ATS. Their last 11 games in Miami, 5-14 on the road. Definitely the Heat have turned it up. I'm going to lay the points and take the Miami Heat minus the 10.5.
How about you, Brian?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Boston Celtics plus the 4 points at home against the Utah Jazz. Jazz have lost 3 out of 4 games. They're starting to look human again. This is a revenge spot for Boston, who lost 122-108 last month in Utah. Boston's also 19-7 against the spread as a home dog and 11-6 overall ATS at home. So I'm going to go with the Boston Celtics plus the points.
I'm going to agree with Brian there on the Celtics. I just think that the Jazz aren't playing as well recently. And the one thing, it's kind of, even if we go back to the traditional Jazz, they're a 4-point cover team, right? 4 or less, you take the Jazz. 4 or more, you take the other team. And the Jazz have kind of fallen back into that. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They've certainly cooled off. And the Celtics 6-4 straight up in their last 10. And on the road in Boston is never an easy spot. The Celtics 12-5 straight up at home. I think it's worth putting a little money line bet here on Boston as well. I'm going to disagree with Rod there. I'm going to take the Cavs against the Heat. I just don't think the Heat are a -10 type team to me. I know the Cavs are lousy. I love the Heat. I mean, I'm from Miami. They weren't there when I was there. But the thing about them is that they're a good team. They're a gritty team, but they're more of like a grinder team that, like we saw the other night against the Magic, up by 3, 20 seconds left to go. The Magic have a chance to tie it up. Jimmy Butler swats the ball away and gets a run-out layup, right, to make it 5 and kind of game. And that's more Heat basketball. Heat basketball is not like blowing teams out like the Bucks do. So I'm going to disagree there. I'm going to take the Heat. They're also my dog of the day, the Cavs. But I'll move on and looking at the Rockets-Hawks. Wood is due back shortly, but he's now missed 16 games, and I think the Rockets have lost all 16 of those games since Wood has been out. Rod, where are you going next?
The next one I'm going to go to is the Bulls and the OKC. I like the over in that one. It opened up at 223, and it's now moved up to 225.5. And you look, OKC, their last 4 games, they've actually picked up their pace of play. Not playing as slow as what they have, which is what I like. And the Bulls, their last game, they made a couple changes and looked real good. They picked up their pace of play as well. Both teams have scored. The over is 6-1 in the Bulls' last 7 versus a team with a losing road record. And the over, both teams, last 4 for OKC have went over. Last 5 for the Bulls have went over. The last 5 games versus these two have also went over the number. I'm going to take the over 225.5, the Bulls and OKC.
How about you, Rod? I mean, Brian.
I think this is one of the better free picks I'm giving out today. I'm going to go with the Portland Trailblazers at home against the Pelicans. Pelicans have won 2 straight, beat the Clippers and beat the Cavs, but so what? They're still the Pelicans, and they have a tendency to look good for a couple games and then look like crap. And I think Portland starting to get healthy. They're at home, and even when Portland's bad, it's never easy to win at Portland. So I'm going to lay the 1.5, -2, -1.5. I think Portland can get the win here.
It's the Pels. Like I said, I like the Hawks here. I'm not a big -7.5 on the road with the Hawks type of guy, but I'm going to have to be here because the Rockets are just continue to be on auto fade. At some point, it's now 9.5. At some point, the Rockets have to cover. I mean, they're not going to not cover all season long. But I don't know. I think you just continue to ride it into the ground. And I'm going to do that here. I'm going to take the Hawks. I'm not a big Hawks person, but since the coaching change, and here's something I've talked about a lot on the show, is the Hawks' defensive ranking. So the Hawks were ranked 10th in defense earlier this season when they were playing well when Brian was on them. And then they moved to they started regressing. And then they were in that 16, 17 range, and then they moved all the way back down to 20. When they moved to 20 is when they fired their coach. And now they're back up to they've moved way back up. Let me see where we're at. The Hawks are now 13th in the NBA in defense. So just since the coaching change, they've moved up 7 slots. So the Hawks are playing much better basketball and might be a team to watch as they continue to move up the defensive standings, which I believe is the key to winning in the NBA. Anyways, of course, and if I believe it, then it must be true. Rod, what's your next pick?
My next play is I like the Timberwolves plus the points at the Lakers. Lakers on a back-to-back, still missing a bunch of guys. And the Timberwolves coming up out of the All-Star break have played real well. They actually even got some wins. They got a couple wins and nice close game against Portland. Got a cover in that one. I'm going to take the Timberwolves plus the points. Last time they played the Lakers, it was an 8-point game, and now you're going to get 8.5. And then you look at the Lakers; they're 0-4 ATS following a win of 10 or more points. I'm going to take the Timberwolves plus the points. I think that's too many in that one.
Brian, what are you looking at?
Yeah, Rod stole my thunder. As usual, I'm fading the Lakers. Lakers have been covering recently, but so have the Timberwolves. They've looked a little bit better. They got me in the last game against Portland. I just think the Lakers on a back-to-back. Who knows if LeBron even will decide to play tonight. But even so, I'm in at +9 this morning. I still like it at 8.5. I think the Sharps are going to take a position with Minnesota.
I'm going to agree with you guys on the Timberwolves. I took them in the video, and I just think, like I said, in the back-to-back, I liked the Lakers yesterday, which was rare for me, but I don't like them here. I do think that the second half of the season that the Lakers, they know, and we talked about this, you can't assume that everybody that's watching today was watching yesterday, but yesterday we mentioned that the Lakers, I did, at least, that the Lakers, they understand that the value of home court advantage and that we're likely to have fans in the stands for the NBA playoffs. And someone actually wrote to me and said that at Pacers games, they're at about 25% capacity already. And I didn't even know that, but they are. So they're going to be stoked to have LeVert there, right? They're going to go nuts. But anyways, I wonder what the Pacers are going to do during this tournament, right? During the college basketball tournament. I guess a lot of road games, right?
A lot of road games.
Kind of like when the Bulls used to go on the circus tour, like when the circus was in town at the United Center, the Bulls would have to go on the road for 2 weeks. Like they'd go 9, 10 consecutive road games. They call it the circus road trip. But I just think that the Lakers win this game. I don't like the number. You got to bet the number. And I liked it. I like the Timberwolves better at 9, but then I do it 8.5. That's how much I'm not betting this game, but it's like I definitely like them better with more points, But I'd still think at 8.5 we're probably okay. I think not enough for me to put it as a premium, but good enough.
It's a 6 or 7 Lakers win tonight.
Yeah, that's what I think. Like it's one of those ones. I could see the Timberwolves scoring the garbage layup to make it 8. I could see it. I could see them down by 10 with like 6 seconds left to go. Instead of dribbling it out, someone comes in and just lays it in to add to their stats for their contract renegotiation. We call it the anti-Nick Chubb play, as opposed to Nick Chubb running it in for the touchdown. So he had those stats to work with when he renegotiates his contract. He runs out of bounds and screws us all. What the hell was that? What was that?
I think I had the other side of that game.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure we heard about how it was,
Yep.
that we were all such squares that Nick Chubb ran out of bounds. We were so square.
It was fixed.
Anyways, is that it for the NBA for you guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Moving right along. What are you selling today, Brian? I know you're you're due for a hot streak this week.
Oh man, I thought I was getting on one 4-1 on Saturday, and then I do 0-3, 0-3. Jesus Christ.
Well, it's because no college hoops. What about you got a March Madness package too for like $450 or something for all your college hoops picks?
No, it's $250, and over the last 4 years combined, 4 years combined of college basketball on 504 wins, 416 losses. That's 55% winners. So now's the time to get on the college basketball pass. $250 will take you all through the March Madness tournament, the NIT, and all that stuff. But today, I stole one from Rod. I got my Tantalizing Tuesday 3-pack. 2 NBA, 1 NHL, $40. You know, there's no way in hell I don't have a winning day today. So
I got my
Tantalizing
creep out
Tuesday.
I got my creep out the customers March Madness package.
Tantalizing Tuesday.
It's not perfection. A lot of these comments I'm behind on the comments. This is something that I wanted to do more was go through the comments and do this. And I also want to get back to like our free for all days. You know, I don't know how much we're going to do it, so I can be like, you got to put Team A versus Team A with the boys.
Those are fun. I love free for all Friday.
I love it too. But I think some people can just get carried away on it. So that's why, one question per person. It's
it usually ends up being every game on the board.
Oh, it usually ends up being just a mess. But I love it anyway. I don't care. But it's like, we'll do it. Maybe baseball or something. But we're going to bring it back. We're going to have a guest. We're going to start bringing guests and stuff like that. And I think, it's always a work in progress. It's always a work in progress. Rod, what are you selling again? Missed it.
For me, I got 3 plays up. I've got my 20-star NBA Game of the Month today. We're 4-1 on these 20-star plays since we started here at Pick Dogs. Jump aboard that. You can get that single, or you can get it in my Top Shelf 3-pack, which includes 3 NBA games, which also includes the 20-star NBA Game of the Month. Those 3 best. Perfect opportunity. We're going to slam dunk the books today over at Pick Dogs Premium, or you can get my college basketball pass. On fire heading into the tournament, 63-45, our last 30 days before where we're sitting right now. You can get the March Madness pass, $200. It's everything all the way till we cut down the nets. Jump aboard. We're gonna have a big tournament.
So, anyways, someone wrote here, when are we gonna do the Pick Dogs retreat in Vegas? And I don't know. I have to say that, I miss going to Vegas for March Madness and for football and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like I'm in no rush to travel right now. I'm not on the vaccine list or anything like that for here. I don't even know. I think we're still on like 65 and older and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't think I'm going to be rushing to get the vaccine. I think I'm going to be one of those people that get the vaccine when I'm absolutely forced to get it. And it's going to be like a later version of the vaccine, not this early one. I don't know. I don't love the vaccine. I feel it's I don't know. I'm not as excited about it as other people are. I guess maybe being stuck in Maui isn't such a bad thing.
It's not a bad place to get stuck.
Yeah, so I don't feel
like.
But
what's the worst case scenario about taking it though? You're not gonna grow a third arm. You'll be all right.
We don't know. You don't know what day.
I'll take my chances.
Marvin Hagler took it.
I'm not taking the chances.
I want to be able to go to the
gentleman's know enough about it. All of a sudden, you get like something starts growing up beside you.
Marvin Hagler took it.
Oh, he was a great boxer.
Yeah.
And Hank Aaron took it. So, to me, it's like, I don't know. I want to make sure that it's 100% good. I'd rather let it percolate in some of these other people that were in a rush to get the vaccine. Let it sit with them for a year or so, and we'll see what the after effects are later. If I can. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? They're not going to let me leave the island. Is that what's going to happen?
Yeah, that'd probably be the worst.
Yeah, it's kind of like the scene from Coming to America. You'll be banished to the Waldorf Astoria. Now bathe him. About 4 women to bathe them, right? It's like, okay. It's like, I mean, I don't want to do it right now. I want to make sure. Of course I'll do it when it's safe. And this isn't the first time our country has been vaccinated. I mean, people that are my age, we all have the vaccine right on our arm right here. Is it here or is it? Might be
smallpox?
Yeah, I have one. I have it. I think it's. I have it right here. See, I have it, right? A lot of the younger people, they don't have that. They used to ask, "What is that?" It's like we were all vaccinated, for smallpox. So, and there's been bubonic plague. There's been a bunch of these things, throughout history. So it's not the first vaccine or anything like that. And the first one, there was the swine flu, remember, that no one ever got. I actually got the bird flu.
Oh, I got the swine flu. I had it coming out of every place.
I had the bird flu.
Terrible.
I had the bird flu in Vegas, and I was so sick, man. And I'm in Vegas, so I don't have a doctor or anything. I went to the Walgreens doctor. You know how they have the doctor at Walgreens? In the back, they have like an emergency doctor. And I went to the Walgreens emergency doctor, and she's like, "You have the bird flu." She's like, and I was just like, it was that, remember there was like the Tamiflu shortage? And she's like, she goes, "I know the one Walgreens that has it." She's like, "And I'll have them put it to the side for you." And I'll tell you what, I took the Tamiflu. 2 days later, I was fine. So, I don't know. But I would like to go to Vegas. I do like it. And the thing is, now that I don't have the place in Vegas anymore, it's like I can go like for a day or two and be fine with it, as opposed to going for 2 weeks. I did like having the place in Vegas, and maybe I'll get another one. I don't know. But I don't have the Vegas place anymore, so it's kind of a different story. No one has the Vegas place.
I think I might move in next to Joe D. Me and him will go party.
I got an email from Joe D that he's coming out, so in May.
Wow.
Yeah. Got it from this morning. He's got a big business deal out here. Devils versus. Oh wait, we're not doing it that way. Rod, what's your first NHL pick today?
My first NHL pick of the day. I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Penguins on the money line. We got Tristan Jarry, who's going to start in goal, and he's 7-2 on the year. The Penguins are also 12-2 at home. And the Boston Bruins are going to probably start an AHL goalie tonight. It's either going to be this other guy, but more than likely, who I think it's going to be is this Daniel Vladimir, Czech goalie. He's played 5 games in the AHL, and he's got a 2.0 goals against average. The Bruins, their last 10 games, 2-7-1. Take the Pittsburgh Penguins. I figured the Bruins were going to bounce back and get a win yesterday. They're my new overpaid bums. Take the Pittsburgh Penguins to beat up on the Bruins again.
Brian?
Yeah, I'm going to totally agree with Rod, and he stole my thunder. For all the reasons he just mentioned, it's just yesterday I had my huge game of the year, and the Bruins lost a ton of money, and they just really didn't look like even when they had the regular goalie in net, like they were going to be able to beat Pittsburgh. And I don't think anything has changed overnight. I'm going to take Pittsburgh here. I think they win this game 3-1, 4-1, somewhere in that range.
Back to you.
The next one I'm going to go with, I'm going to take the Detroit Red Wings plus the 1.5. These two teams just played the other day, and it was a one-goal game. The two games that they played 3 games in Detroit this year. Carolina got 1 win. They won by a goal. Detroit's also beat them outright at home this year as well. So I got another. I see this as another close game. Take Detroit plus the 1.5 at minus 125. Love that today.
I like the Dallas Stars against the Lightning. It's like betting against the Lightning. I just enjoy it. I know nothing about hockey. Brian?
Yeah, Rod's really stealing my thunder. Yesterday, I took the Predators and Sabres and bet the same amount of both. Ended up with a nice profit on the day. Today, I'm going to back the Detroit Red Wings. There's no reason why they can't win this game at home against Carolina. They've played them tough so far this year. So you're getting like a plus 200. I'm all in on that. Give me $100 on the Red Wings.
Rod, Minnesota Wild.
Last one I like.
Minnesota Wild puck line.
Now, you better not take my team.
Who do you like, Rod?
And the last one I definitely know I'm not going to take your team on this one, Brian. Don't you worry.
All right.
I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Lightning. I know they lost yesterday to Nashville, but Tampa Bay, after scoring 2 goals or less, they are 50-9 following the next game out. And then you look at Dallas in their last game, after scoring 2 goals or less, they are 0-6. They have yet to get a win after scoring 2 goals in a previous game. I'm going to take Tampa Bay here on the puck line as they come in and beat up Dallas Stars here. The Tampa Bay offense is just way too much for the Dallas Stars here. Take Tampa Bay Lightning on the puck line as this game's 4-1, 5-1.
So a lot of comments here. I definitely want to address a lot of these things, but we're not going to do a bracket challenge for pick dogs. I made that decision. That's something that you'd have to decide weeks in advance. Most of the bracket things that you have out there have to go through third-party software and stuff to do that, and I don't want to give those guys your information. I don't want to be responsible for you guys getting spammed and all that other stuff. So it's like, I don't want to do it, It's like, I don't want to be like, oh, Mitch put us in this bracket contest. Now these people are spamming the crap out of me. Right? So I don't want to do that. And it's like, you guys, there's enough bracket contests out there, And go with one of the good ones, like ESPN. What do you win, like $1 million? The chances of winning one of those things are so slim. I've won them. I've won it twice. I've been fortunate, but the thing is, it's like, it takes it. You have to be, Maybe I should do a video on how I've won brackets. What it is, you have to have conviction with a reasonable underdog or two. And you have to have conviction with it, and you have to ride them. But you can't say like, oh, yeah, I got Cleveland State to go. It's like that is not going to generally win you your bracket. You have to pick, the upsets do happen in the first round, but not as many outright upsets as you think. And then also, where the upsets happen is in the next round. Because everybody, when you're down to the top 32 teams in college basketball, everybody's good. Everybody's really good. When you get down to the top 32, anybody can beat anybody on any year.
I think with me having Texas and West Virginia in my Final Four, it gives me a good opportunity to win my bracket with those two teams.
Yeah, I've never won a bracket that went all number ones to the Final Four or remotely close. The times I won the brackets are when Butler went, right? UConn, Butler, VCU, those are Final Four teams. That's when I've won, And when Kentucky beat Ohio State, when Ohio State was like number 1 overall and Kentucky took them out, it was a reasonable upset. Kentucky was a 4, and they took out Ohio State. It was like, it was reason, right? A good Kentucky team in March to take out Ohio State. I mean, and that was enough to do it. They played UConn in the final, right, Brian? Isn't that what happened that year?
Yeah, UConn was the year I hit the futures on UConn.
But then Kentucky, I won that year, the bracket contest, the big one.
Yeah.
And what happened, I believe, was Kentucky knocked off Ohio State, who everybody had. And then I had UConn on the other side with Kemba, and they won the title. And that's how I won. The other year I had Butler. Because they had gone to the final the year before. It cleared out the entire bracket, and then VCU got to the Final Four through a playing game. So it was basically, I had VCU going a couple spaces, but it was basically a non-event in that bracket because everybody was wiped. There was nobody that made it through there. So any points that you got were gravy. Anyways.
I like my Elite Eight also. Maybe I'm just being.
We got any more hockey here? Gotta wrap this up.
Yeah, for me, hell has frozen over.
We're already over our 30 minutes.
Hell has frozen over. I'm taking the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight for all the reasons, again, that Rod mentioned. The line opened up at -148. It's up to around -160s. Stars are getting 25 cents more than where they opened at. I think this is the game the Lightning had circled when they lost to the Predators yesterday. So for me, I'm going to lay some juice here, take Tampa Bay. I think they win this game easily. So me and Rod are in total agreement today.
Rod, any more?
No, that's the ones I like in the hockey.
All right, I just like the Stars against the Lightning, and Minnesota Wild puck line is my $99 play. That'll cost
Plus
you.
one.
It'll cost you $99. Oh no, my hot diggity dog. Let's see. My hot diggity dog would be Washington Capitals plus 1.5. That's $99. But free for all of you. But free at the same time.
Somebody texted me yesterday and asked me why I didn't take the Penguins plus 1.5 yesterday. That seemed like an easy winner. I mean, yeah, you had to lay I think it was minus 280.
Yeah, it was something crazy,
like
yeah.
All right, well let's get to the parlay section, Rod.
Okay, we're going to do a mixed parlay. I'm going to take the Timberwolves plus the points, Penguins on the money line, Tampa on the puck line. Parlay those three up.
Brian?
Yeah, I'm going to parlay Tampa Bay Lightning on the money line, the Boston Celtics plus the points, and the Portland Trailblazers minus the points.
Celtics money line with the Hawks and the Cavs for me. This is Mitch for Rod and Brian. Thanks for joining us. We'll be putting out that premium video in just a couple minutes for those of you that are premium YouTube members. I didn't put the link in, but the link is in the description of this video. So it's easy, it's inexpensive, it's a deal, especially during March Madness, and you're going to get the first couple weeks of baseball, which are normally my worst of the season. So I'll be on auto fade there.
I love baseball.
I do too, and I think that at the beginning of the season, the hitters are always ahead. So it's like, the ERAs on some of the star pitchers can get really knocked around. Anyways, a little critical here of your premium NHL picks. I think it was a joke. We'll pretend it was a joke. All right, thanks.
I would bet the Bruins today against that number.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We're going to try and act more professional tomorrow.